All right. Hello, hello, everybody. We are recording for October 5th, our third spiritual hour. So, tonight we're going to talk about what is going on this month for astrology wise, which I'm super excited to hear about from Megan. And we're also going to dive into, I know there's a lot of them and there's a lot of material on them, but we're just going to touch on some of them tonight, the chakras, which I know a lot of us wanted to learn more about.
Mm.
So, all right, take it away.
All right, so this, and it kind of came to me this morning. I follow a certain page on Instagram, and sometimes they'll do like an overall video of like a full moon, a new moon, different kind of readings. I think it's called Moon Omens if you wanted to like find it on Instagram. But they did
Find it.
one. Yeah, go find it. They did an October astrology, and there's a lot in it, and I am not even reporting on a lot of it because some of it is just the language I don't understand in the astrology world and in the charts. I don't really know what they mean yet, so if I don't want to say it to you, I can say it. It doesn't not going to mean anything to me, and I can just tell you that all the energies are the same, so it doesn't really matter. They all just line up. But kind of like a disclosure or like a preface or something before that. Excuse me. That a lot of what's happening right now was set back in April. And I think I kind of said that along the new moon or the full moon, like because it was a full moon in, I don't remember anymore. But the
It's
new
okay.
moon was back in April, which Pluto goes direct today or yesterday. It's been in retrograde since April 25th. And let me rewind. I'm jumping. All the planets go in retrograde except, and from my understanding, Earth doesn't because we're on Earth, so we're not going to see us go in retrograde. And it's not that the other planets are actually spinning backwards. It just appears like the Earth is spinning backwards. So, and I think I said it before, when you're in a car in a parking lot and you're pulling into a space, but at the exact same time, the other car is backing up and you're like, oh my God, like, that's exactly what it feels like it seems. But usually retrograde kind of slows down the energy of that moon. A lot of the other language I might say, I don't remember what I wrote down, is if like certain planets go in certain astrology signs. So you got to remember astrology signs come from the stars in the universe. So like the planets move into those aspects of the sky. So
Sorry, I have something to say off of that real quick.
I was like, jump,
So,
go.
yeah, there's this girl I'm friends with on Instagram, which I'm going to ask her more about this, but she was talking to me about all of this stuff that you just brought up in like your birth date and your time and where you were born.
Yeah.
And she told me about like where all my planets are aligned, and then
Your
told
birth
me
chart.
things about my stuff and told me like things about myself that were dead on, things about like what is happening right now. So I want to find what she was looking at, and maybe that could be something we do
have a
too.
website
Okay.
that I was going to link because I'm going to get to that too.
Okay, good.
Because there is something that talks about if you look at certain placements of the planets, what is it? It's like you in your chart, and I can't get much into it. And some people don't have all the planets or astrology signs in their charts. You just don't. But you look at in your chart where like Scorpio falls on your chart. So for me, I have a bunch of water in my chart. My moon is Scorpio. So like I haven't looked it up yet, but like whatever that energy is, I'm going to feel differently. And in how you, and I figured this was something we could delve into at another time.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Because when you're looking at your astrology, you look at your sun sign, which is what your astrology sign is. So like right now we're in Libra season. So if you were born within this month period, like Libra is you, that is your sun sign, but you have your moon sign and your rising sign, which it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's all into it. And when you read what makes up you,
it's dead on, and it's crazy cool. Yeah, I'm like,
so
my mind is blown. Yeah.
Mercury, I know I talked about it. Mercury's going in retrograde this month. I am a Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. I'm going to feel it. So if I get, like, I'll feel it in my throat chakra, which hopefully we'll get to tonight. I don't know. I'm already on a tangent. And Mercury controls communication. So, like, for me, being a Virgo, being controlled by Mercury, I'm going to feel it, let alone I may feel it also wherever else Mercury is in my chart. I can tell you because I'm not that familiar with it. I know they're there somewhere. Anyway, that's a whole other topic for another day. But I'm going to probably try to find the link and send it to you guys because I do talk about that at one point. So October is a lot. 2020 as a whole has been like forced introspection. Everything happens for a reason. And I kind of want you to think about not just what's going on with you personally right now, but like think about what's going on in the world politically for causes and certain, political causes, different actions that are being called to highlighted right now. And like, think about medically, like with COVID-19, like I know when people say everything happens for a reason, people are going to start asking, well, why did COVID-19 happen? And it's hard to say people died for a reason. I don't know what their reason is. It's not my business to know what everyone's reason is for this to happen. I know COVID-19 forced me to realize some things about myself and the shutdown and the process that has happened. Same. But that is kind of what 2020 is about. And like in tarot, there's the Tower card. Tower card is change. And I feel like 2020, like the Tower card was thrown at the world. And it kind of needed to have a reset. And it's whenever I see the Tower card come up, a forced change is coming. You've ignored something for too long that the universe is going to make it happen. And I feel like that's what 2020 is right now. It's going to be a forced reset. And that's kind of, if you look at it and break it down, that's exactly what's happening. Mother Nature is freaking cranky at us. And she's thrown these curveballs at us for us to heal, for the world to heal. And everything is happening for a reason. And you'll have your personal reason, you'll have your reason in your family, and everyone will have that. And it's not really our job to look at why everyone else is going through what they're going through. It's kind of to look at like what we're going through and how we can help and how we can fix and how we can change it for us, which our energy is going to change, is vibrate out of us, because everything's vibration. So October 1st, we have the full moon. We already talked about that one. Next. Yes. So Mars, Uranus, and Neptune are still in retrograde. I didn't look it up because there's already a lot to talk about, but they've been in retrograde. Like there was one point over the spring, like 7 planets were in retrograde. Everything's kind of going haywire, as we can already see. But all of that is forcing introspection. And that's kind of exactly what the year has been like with quarantine. And I know some states and countries aren't in as much of a lockdown as other countries are. And I know some states are more open than the rest of us. I know Florida's more open than Mass. Like, yeah, 100%. You know, and that's just kind of where we're all at. And it's going to fall different for everyone. So October 2nd, Venus enters Virgo. Venus is usually the sign for like love and compassion, relationships. But when I say that, it's not just like romantic relationships and romantic love, like love for yourself, love for your family, relationships as friends, family, coworkers, anything like that. So when they say relationships, it's relationships as a whole. Sorry, I gotta read this because it's a lot.
Yeah, do it. I'm like all ears.
So you gotta, like, it's grounding your reaction. So instead of like hearing something and just reacting right away out of a state of ego, you want to just like sit with it, kind of make sure what you're saying is mindful. You want to be mindful to respond to triggers. Things are going to trigger you. And I know I've been triggered a lot recently, like in the last few months. And I know speaking to a lot of people, they have too. Or if things are coming up, that's like a blockage or delaying something you want, or time delays or things like that. Like it's divine timing. It's happened for a reason. It's there to test us. And that's kind of the overall energy of everything I'm going to say. And in order to like kind of go with the flow, you try to avoid the pessimism. And that's where you bring in your conscious language. Like if something is triggering you and there's a delay or something's not working out the way you wanted to, instead of being that victim, try to pull in the, well, what can I learn from this? I'm being protected from something else. So if something's not working out the way you wanted it to, you don't need it to work out that way. You need it to work out this way to get to somewhere else, because that's going to be better for you. So it's kind of like, just trust the process. Let it go.
Yeah. Flow with it.
Right? The Venus in Virgo is going to try to teach you discernment, conscious decisions. Like, like I said, don't react from a place of ego, because that's your fear. That's instability, that's insecurity. You kind of, and if that's your first reaction, you kind of take it back. Think about what's bothering you. Think about what's going on. Think about why you're being triggered and what you can learn from it. October 4th, Pluto goes direct. So that was yesterday or into today, depending on time frame or where it fell in the world. So Pluto's been in, I still consider Pluto a planet, and so do they. Pluto has been retrograde since April 24th. So think back to where you were April 24th. Now remember, just like full moons and new moons, you may feel the effect a week before or a week after. I can tell you my last day of work when I got furloughed was April 23rd. So that was my last week at work. And then everything got thrown upside down for me. And yeah, so let's do that one. So Pluto direct, it's kind of making you go the internal exploration of self. So it's everything that you were working on introspectively since April, we're now implementing it. So it actually says reflection ends. You've been reflecting on it. You've been in that introspective energy. Now you're implementing those lessons. What did you learn? Embodying what you learned, embracing it. It's going to be your personal power and your personal strength. And when I read that, it dawned on me that because I have felt such a personal power increase over the last couple of weeks. And it was, well, because Pluto was aiming to go direct and we were kind of getting that transitional energy in. Mars is in retrograde. I started writing stuff about Mars on October 19th because it's doing stuff with planets and making a square or a trine or being opposite of something. I don't know, but I know it's not the first time it's happened while it's been in retrograde. And it's happening again, which means it wants us to reflect on our obstacles, which is kind of what everything is talking about. Reflect on your obstacles, reflect on what your blockages are and how it's affecting your journey. Well, you've been on this journey. We've been on this journey since April. And what can you do? It's testing you. How are you reacting? Have you learned your lessons? If you haven't, let's keep healing it. That's the journey of life. You're healing, you're fixing, you're growing. You never stop. So it's asking you to look at your commitment to your chosen path. Are you still aligned with that commitment? If not, change your path or heal what you need to stay on the path. Like, is this path meant for you? And I feel like that kind of was the energy of the full moon. I feel like I'm repeating myself from last week.
Yeah, it's like it's because it's all very similar.
Yeah. Also with Pluto going direct, this is what I was talking about. Pluto is the god of the underworld, wealth and power. It's going to be shifts in your personal life with that from April 25th. And I feel like a lot of people can feel that with COVID and where we've been in the world, all the struggles everyone's been going through. It's because it's been in retrograde. Hopefully now that's kind of coming out of it and people are seeing, and with the country opening up a little bit more, I think that's coming into play. It's just funny how it's all working out the same way.
So
also, this is when it comes into the birth chart. Find your Pluto and Scorpio placements in your chart, and that's going to show you where the shadow work is and where those tower moments have been occurring. And I can almost guarantee you, if you have Pluto and Scorpio in your charts and where they fall, you'll notice. I haven't looked it up, so I'm almost positive with the way everything's working out, it's going to be where your struggles have been personally. And I'm excited to look it up for me. So there's that. October 13th at 9:05 p.m. Eastern time. So whatever that means for you, where you are in the country, Mercury goes retrograde. And I know everyone dreads it because everyone hears such a big thing about Mercury going to retrograde and it's so bad. It's really not if you're prepared for it. Just be extra prepared for problems with travel and communication. Make sure you're leaving on time. Make sure your car is tuned up. Make sure your phone's charged. Make sure like things like that. It's not something to be overly concerned about. And if something does happen, laugh it off and just know that whatever, like if you're stuck in traffic because of an accident, laugh it off. There's nothing you can do. Text whoever you're meeting up, or if you're going to be late to work, like I'm stuck in traffic. They can't do anything if you're stuck in traffic. Like it is what it is. And that's kind of the attitude to approach any difficulties during Mercury retrograde. It is what it is. What can I learn? How can I move forward? It's not a big deal when you break it down moment to moment. Reflect on your approach to relationships with Mercury retrograde, because Mercury is such a big one about communication, and any relationship is about communication. Be mindful of that, and just, again, same thing with the triggers. If something's triggering you, take a moment, take a pause, don't react right away, take a beat, breathe, and then respond. Respond, don't react, kind of thing. And so it's kind of, yeah, and it's kind of opening up healing potential. Uncovering like your unconscious traumas and like more shadow work to do. And this Mercury retrograde will probably have some tower moments. I feel them coming, whether it's for us, whether it's for the universe or just the country. I don't know. October 16th is another super new moon. It's the second of 3. We had one in September, we have one in October, we have another in November, and it's kind of like a trifecta, and it leads up to like a super new moon eclipse in November, I think, which like it's like opening up a portal kind of thing, a lot of energy. It's going to be just about cultivating peace and harmony in relationships. So like whatever you've worked on in Mercury retrograde, like this is going to help kind of like rebalance it and set it out. October 22nd is start of Scorpio season, and it's kind of like rising from the ashes, which I feel like goes like is the next step in like everything else. October 31st is the full moon, which is a blue moon because we got 2 full moons in 1 month, and it's the hunter moon, and it's on Halloween.
So cool.
Yeah, let me tell you, I just watched Hocus Pocus this weekend, and like the Virgin had to light the black flame candle on Halloween on the full moon. So like, let me tell you, if there's a black flame candle and a Virgin sets it off,
for real.
We're like, that's October. I can't. Nope, I'm done. So with this full moon, it's a potential extremely powerful, life-changing moment. So like end of October, and a lot of the tarot readers and card readers out there have been picking up a lot of shifts, and it's expect the unexpected. And that card has been coming out for a lot of readers, and I didn't know why until I got here. And I was like, oh,
that's why.
That's kind of exciting. So like be prepared, expect the unexpected. Anything can happen, but that's not saying it's in a bad way. That could be for the best. It can be for like a new path opening up spontaneously that you didn't even know. If you're feeling stuck, bang, here it is. Here's your opportunity. Here's your chance. You didn't even expect it. So like that's kind of the energy coming. New possibilities, new pathways, just things happening out of nowhere that are like for the greater good.
I love it.
And that's October. In somewhat of a nutshell.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much for reading up about that and looking into it to share with everybody. I'm on the edge of my seat over here listening.
Yeah, like I'm excited to see there's big stuff happening anyway in the world, and it's everything that's been happening. Like if you line it up with what's been happening in the world with the cosmos, it's all kind of lined up for a reason. Introspection season started with all the retrogrades as we were all shoved into quarantine and lockdown and stuff. So everything happens for a reason. I think Mother Nature is trying to give us a message, like y'all need to shape up.
Yep.
Energetically. All right.
So just to make note, I'm going to write it down. You have the website of the birth chart?
Yeah. I think it's like Astrology Cafe.
Okay. Well, once we post
I will tag it.
Yeah, let's put it in the comments.
Once we get the video up. But it's in the meantime, because not everyone knows the time of birth. In order to get the accurate birth chart, you need to have your date of birth exactly where you were born. So like And I mean, it can be like town over. So make sure you know the exact town that wherever you were born at, hospital, house, ambulance, wherever you were at literally the time of birth, that is where it is. And you want the exact time of birth. So like I found out I was born at 8:13 in the morning. My mom loved me because she's not a morning person. And so like you like don't have to get down to the second, but like down to the minute, because that's going to change where the stars and everything line up. So date, place, time,
yeah.
and that's going to give you the most accurate reading. And let me tell you, I've
ready for
read
your mind to be blown.
Yeah, I've read some people's, and they're sitting there, mouth on the floor, like mind blown. It's fun. It's awesome. Really fun.
I'm just looking at the time here. So we have like 20-ish minutes left. Do we want to do chakra stuff, or what are you feeling?
Well, let's see what we get through.
Okay.
I'm thinking, well, because we can just talk about like what the chakras are, what a chakra is.
And then we can break it down.
And if we get into one, we can get into one. Just to set the pace.
Perfect.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. So, can you hold it? Do you have that book?
I do.
With the chakras?
Yep.
Just hold it up. Because I was thinking about finding it. Those are your chakras. It starts up at the crown at your head. Your third eye is at your forehead. Your throat is your throat, your heart. Your solar plexus is where that yellow one is. The orange is your sacral. And the root is the one on the bottom. And those are the 7 main chakras of the body.
I will say, before I started learning about these things, I went to like my first Reiki appointment and my first like getting into all of this, and my gosh, like the effects of paying attention and feeling really what's going on in your body deeply like that.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's life-changing. I've had some incredible moments. Like sometimes I feel like if something's going wrong or like I just don't feel right, I won't call a friend, or I won't, I mean, I do, but like, I know that I need to go get balanced.
Yeah. There's a different feeling.
Years ago that I learned that. And I feel like a lot of people don't know, or like feel like it's hocus pocus kind of stuff, but it's real.
It's real. And like, so when I was looking these things up, I was like, why are you looking these things up? You already know. But it was, I needed to see it because there's so much information on a lot of them. So like those are the 7 main chakras. So if people are talking about chakras, that way they are. Side note, chakras are the energy centers of your body. They're connected spiritually, and then also to your physical body. But like there's research and people have reported there's like 114 different chakras.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? That's a lot. So a lot of the chakras correspond to like certain nerve bundles and major organs too. So like people in a lot of the readings you'll say, they'll be like, oh, if you have an unbalanced like throat chakra, that's why you get laryngitis, or that's why you have strep throat, or that's why you have a cold. I'm like, I don't fully believe that. Sure, that could be the case for some people, but I also believe like you just catch a cold. When you have a cold, now your throat chakra is going to be imbalanced. Like it's causing it to be imbalanced. So things like that. So you don't necessarily, if I say, if a chakra is imbalanced, you have this medical condition. No, you don't. But if you do have that medical condition, that chakra will be involved, and it will be unbalanced or blocked or moved or shrunk or something. It just won't be in balance, spinning perfectly and open. So I can say that it's not always affected medically, but if you have that medical condition or a medical thing going on in that part of the body, or pain in that part of the body, your chakra will be affected. But it's not always the other way around. Like it can be, but it's not always. So our goal, like as a Reiki healer, our goal is to keep your chakras spinning, open, at the appropriate size, because with Reiki, like you can manipulate chakras to be like wide open or like really small, and you kind of want them in a healthy balance. And that's where balancing your chakras and what you can do for them. There's balanced and imbalance, and in imbalanced chakras, there's overactive and underactive. So like it can kind of go both ways. Real quick, just what time is it? I don't know if I really want to get into all like one right now.
Let's do
but like just real quick, like if you want to like balance it real quick, like if you're feeling like, oh, I feel like my heart chakra, or if you're feeling like pain somewhere, or if you know it's an energetic block in a chakra, because some people do, something as simple as the color you're wearing, or like looking at a specific color, or the food you eat can help. And it's usually based on color. So if your crown chakra is affected and it's something up here and you feel all flighty and out of sorts, there's no real food to balance that one out, but wearing that certain color. So like that one is like a purple or a white.
Yeah.
And like you can just like Google it, or like we can post a picture. It's just based on the color. So like the heart chakra, it's going to be leafy greens. It's going to be anything green. The throat, anything blue. You know, I'm like, so after I was looking all this stuff up, I was very anxious, but I was looking up the top 3 chakras. So it's your crown, your third eye, and your throat. Your throat is very easily imbalanced, and your crown and your third eye are really, if they're imbalancing, can cause a lot of anxiety. And I even texted Erica, I was like, I'm really nervous.
Yeah, I was like, girl, we're doing this for the good.
I was like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
So what I did was I chose to wear the colors of the lower chakras to help ground me and bring that energy down. And I end up changing my shirt to put on red, because red is a grounding color. That's your root chakra, and that's what's grounding you. So like just simple things like that. Just look at the colors and do that. Because I don't want to just get into the crown chakra and then leave you.
Yeah. I think we need like a 2-part. We'll do like the upper and then the lower. Week or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, because it's a lot.
And I'm like looking at the time. I'm like, it's like we've been doing this for about half an hour. It's a lot of info to delve into, but it's really cool. It's really interesting how you can help balance himself. And like I know Erica mentioned, you said something about like you feel like you need to be cleared. So like not every night, because if I actually need something healed, I'm not sleeping well. Like I'll sleep all night, but I'll feel really tired. And it's because I went to bed to a sound bowl chakra clearing 2-hour meditation. Great thing with that is you don't have to be awake for it, because it's the vibration of the sound and the sound itself.
Yeah. But
that means your body is still working to heal while you're sleeping. So I'd get a full 8 hours of sleep, but I don't really feel rested if I do it too much. So I try to do it like 1 or 2 nights in a row and then take a break for a couple nights. But if you're feeling like scattered or anxious, or you feel like you can't speak or something, or you don't feel grounded or anything like that, you can message me, message Erica, and like we can kind of like guide you to like which chakra might need help. Or just do a full chakra clearing. You can find them on YouTube. I like them. Yeah. It's
helped me so much. There was I know a lot of people that are in the group that have been knowing my story from where I came from to where I am now, and all the stuff I went through. And it was like right before I had left, I went to like a 2-hour trauma chakra clearing. I was there for like 2 hours, and it was amazing. But yeah, just like being more in tune with that and like being open to it is so incredible.
Yeah, like I feel seen after like most of my clothing choices or crystal choices have to do with what my energy is doing or what I'm trying to like fix or heal at the time. So like I said, I changed to like a deep red because I needed to be grounded, because I felt all up in this energy. But also just something that we all try to do anyway is eat a colorful diet. Right? Like I know people have commented like when I've posted food in the past, like, oh, look at all those colors. That's good.
Yeah.
Because that's a way you can help align or heal some of those chakras, you know, because it's indigo. So it's like the blueberries, the eggplants, anything purple for your third eye, your throat, anything blue, anything green or pink for your heart, yellow for your solar plexus, orange for your sacral, anything red for your base, you know. So it's, yeah.
I love it.
So like just something to think about over the next week, like when you're cooking or like when you see your foods and you have like the different colored peppers and greens and like whatever else you're using, like, oh, hey, you're like kind of helping your chakras at the same time.
Yes. So
Yeah.
good. Yes. So yeah, we'll dive into all of them another night. But I think this is good. This is a lot of info. And then, yeah, if you guys are curious, I'm sure you can go on like Pinterest and search chakras, like a bunch of stuff will come up. Like, I'm like a visual person. I like to see it in front of me, like this picture.
Oh, I have some pictures that I've saved that I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah, let's put them up.
It was funny. I was looking them all up on websites. One, I have handouts and paperwork that have all the information on it, but no, I'm online.
Yeah.
And then something directed me to Pinterest. I was like, why didn't you just go on Pinterest? And they just have it like a lot of the info right there. So I thought that was cool. I was like, I can save those and send them to you guys.
Yeah. Well, once this is up, if you're watching the recording, then we'll do the website of the birth chart and some of the pictures with the chakras and stuff.
Yeah, I'll find some like overall chakra stuff, not individual, but
like the whole body. Yeah.
And as always, if you have questions in the meantime, or you know, reach out. We're here.
Yes, we're always here. I know. I feel like I could sit here and talk forever about this kind of stuff. So if you're ever interested or do have a question, really reach out. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Yes. I'll probably get this up tomorrow evening, midday or whatever. Oh, and I don't know if people have already seen it, but Jenna made a section. I think it's in the files or whatever it's called. Is it files? Hold on, let me look.
I don't know.
Units, in the unit section, not files. She started putting these all there. So like if you're missed one of the weeks, it'll always be in that section.
Love it.
Yeah. We'll get our own series going.
Who was it? Someone said I should have a podcast.
Yeah, you should. You should. I don't want to.
Oh my God, that's so nerve-wracking. Guys, I don't think you understand. Like, I am not a public speaking kind of person.
Yeah, but when it's something that you're passionate about, you are. Everybody is. Because I'm not a public speaker either, but if it's something I really truly feel, I can speak forever on it. And this is so you. So,
it's easy here.
Did that hit you? Did that hit you in your heart?
Let me tell you. Like, it's easy here because it's like what you guys are seeing is literally what I'm seeing. I'm seeing me and Erica, and that's it. But if like everyone signed in, or like there were 6 other people, I'd be like, oh my God, there's more people, and then I can see their reactions, and it's just
you'd be
I can't see your faces watching it, so it's less nerve-wracking.
You'd be great. And if you do a podcast, you don't have to see anyone.
I don't have to see anyone, and I can read from my notebook as much as I want.
Oh my God. Until somebody finds your podcast and wants you to speak at an event. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
You're way ahead of yourself. You need to slow your roll.
Just saying what's coming to me. So funny. All right. You guys have a good rest of the night, and we'll chat with you in the group. Megan, thank you again. Okay. Bye.